Welcome to the Marketing Pulpit Show, and I am Robert Gatewood, your host. We are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good of marketing gospel. We're not saving souls, we're saving businesses, saving jobs, saving our community. Now, if I happen to save a soul along the way, don't hold that against me. We'll just call that icing on the cake. Now, the mission at Marketing Pulpit Show is to build strong businesses in our community so that we can put our people to work. And we do that with business development, job creation, and service. So if you ever find yourself in a business crossroads and not sure which way to turn, just turn on the Marketing Pulpit Show because we're on a mission. You can also find this show on the major platforms: Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and you can find it at marketingpulpit.com. I'd like to welcome everybody to the show today. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we are here every Friday, bringing you the good marketing gospel. Guess what, folks? This is the final show of 2022. Can you believe that we are about to embark upon a new year? Marketing Pulpit has been in here, been hanging in here since 1990. So we'll be celebrating 13 years going into 2023. And that date is significant because when we started the show back in 1990, I was basing it on my dad was actually in not 1990. Wow, we're going back too far. 2010. My dad was actually in hospice, and I was looking for a name of the show, and so I came up with the name Marketing Pulpit to honor his legacy because he spent most of his life in the pulpit. But we're about to go into 2023, and we're celebrating 13 years. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. I'm a business developer by trade. I help companies grow. I help companies develop their businesses. And going into 2023, we're seeing that more and more people are starting businesses, particularly Black women. There was an article just came out, talked about how Black women were feeling marginalized. We talked about that on the last show. And so many of them have decided to start businesses. But it doesn't matter what your race, what your creed, what your color. If you have that burning desire, that idea that needs to be put out there, then the Marketing Pulpit is a good place to tune in every week to get some of those tips and ideas and strategies to take you forward to build your business. I'm also an adjunct professor at Prince George's Community College in the DC area, where we talk about marketing. I have a course called Marketing Strategies. I have a course called Networking Works and another course called Social Media Strategies. I'm also a consultant with the Small Business Administration, help companies in the 8A program. And so, and I've written a couple of books, one called Smarter Than the Boss and one called Played in Full. So I'm out here to help you. And if you want to take this help, by all means, take advantage of it. And if whether it's me or somebody else, if you're a business owner, it's not for the weak of heart. You will need some help. Now, later in the show, we're going to talk about how I'm going to give you my top 10 strategies for 2023. If you are a business owner, you really want to hear that. These are time-tested, proven strategies that I use that have aided in my success and the success of my many clients. And my clients, these aren't small fish. These are people like Joe Madison, the BLE Executive Suites, Willie Jolly. I mean, people, we have some household names that we've been working with over the years, and these strategies have helped propel them. Now, we can't take the credit because it really took that person's burning desire, their mission, their purpose, but we were able to help them by providing them with some of the tools that we use here on the Marketing Pulpit, which we share with you every Friday at 10:30 a.m. right here. We're also broadcasting live from Radio 1's WOL 1450 and 95.9 FM. And you can also get the show by going to marketingpulpit.com. You can see the show live, a visual, on the homepage of the website as we simulcast on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and Twitter. And I want to thank everybody as we go into 2023. For all of you who have tuned in on a regular basis and made this show the success that it has been. Particularly our sponsor, BLE Executive Suites, Miss Bernadette Clay and Langston and Eddie. That's what BLE stands for. They've been a pivotal part of this show, and they're one of the sponsors. And they're starting, along with Marketing Pulpit, the first Friday event coming up starting on January 6th, where business owners are going to be getting together to help build that faith muscle and that mindset, what is necessary to succeed in business. Miss Bernadette Clay, the founder of BLE Executive Suites, with their 3 locations in the Washington, D.C. area, National Harbor, Largo Center, and College Park, which is a hub zone, which is a great place for government contracting businesses who are trying to get off the ground. So BLE, Miss Bernadette Clay, will actually be present at these networking events, talking about her success and sharing how her mindset has developed, and she's willing to share that information with you. And yours truly, Robert Gatewood, will be there as well. So go to marketingpulpit.com. On the right side of the page, you'll see a banner for signing up for the First Friday networking event, which starts up in January 6th. It's going to be 11:30 in the morning. It's a lunch. So come on out and join this success team, thought leaders. Miss Bernadette Clay will be there. I will be there, and quite a few other talented individuals. So the seats are limited too. It's a free event, so you want to go ahead and get your ticket now. Go ahead and register and bring somebody with you, somebody who's thinking about business or somebody who's in business, who's trying to grow that business. Thank you again for tuning in. We also, later in the show, as I mentioned, we're going to talk about Robert Gatewood's top 10 marketing strategies going into 23. You don't want to miss that. But before I get to that, there's some things that we need to leave back in 2022. Now, I brought in some help with me today. She couldn't be here in person, but it was Baby New Year. Baby New Year and I got together and decided there's some things that we need to leave back into 2022. We don't need to bring those things into 2023. So I have a list here. Might even step on a few toes, so put on your iron-toed boots. So let's get ready to talk about what we need to leave back in 2022 and not bring into 2023. So these tips. So if you get mad, I'm going to say, don't blame me, blame Baby New Year. Now, before we get started, Baby New Year was busy, and she said, look, now I don't have time to be playing around. But before we get started, I want you to tell me put a few things out there, disclaimers, that people, she said, in order to get me to cooperate, she said, you have to say these things first. First of all, Baby New Year said, don't stop confusing Baby New Year with Baby Jesus. Too much confusion going on. There are different things. I know we've all celebrated around the same time of year, but got to put that out there. And the second thing, that these resolutions you're all making, they're not like wishes. They're aspirations. It's not like a genie where you rub a ball and things come true. So let's put that out there in the beginning. So let's get to our things to leave behind in 2022 and not to carry into 2023. First one is stop procrastinating. Get off the pot. Do something. Leave that in 2022. Do not carry that bad habit into 2023. Okay? Another one, stop being a perfectionist. Let me tell you something, folks. Ready, fire, aim. It is more important to get there on time, to get there at all, than to be tilling around and trying to make things perfect and miss those important deadlines and pivotal milestones. Get it on out there. Baby New Year said this: stop trying to get everything for free. There is nothing free. If the service is free, the product is you. So these websites out here, this software, these apps, these places that you join, find out what the bottom line is. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't join them, but know that there's some type of give and take. Okay? So there's nothing free, and sometimes you got to spend some money. That's straight out of the mouth of Baby New Year. Also, stop trying to do everything yourself. Okay? Delegate. Delegate that marketing. Delegate that accounting. Don't try to become a computer lawyer. You can't do everything yourself. If you're going to grow, you're going to have to bring in some help. Okay? Straight out of the mouth of Baby New Year. Stop being that person that nobody wants to be around. Baby New Year getting a little testy here. Don't be that critical person. That person that's negative every time you see their text come in or the phone ring, your blood pressure goes. You know those people. Don't be one of them. Every time you see their light come on your text, suddenly your heart starts to palpitate. Don't be that person, okay? Baby New Year talking. Stop spending your money on foolishness. Invest in your company, okay? Now, just because it's fun doesn't mean it's foolish, because we do need to relax every now and then and not be so serious. But there are some things that we can put aside, particularly now, and go into 2023 spending our money wisely, okay? Stop being mean. We shouldn't have to say that, but stop being mean. Stop being disrespectful to others. Be kind, show compassion. Stop smoking. Stop drinking, or stop over drinking. I can't say stop drinking because you don't know what's in this cup, right? It's water. It's not even coffee. Trick you, didn't it? And stop forgetting to exercise. Walk, plank, do some jumping jacks, some sit-ups, but you have to do some exercise in 2023. Stop being a show-off. Stop being a braggart. Now, we get on social media sometimes, and we put out this image that life is perfect. And not only that, we exaggerate. And I don't care about folks. Sometimes you have these milestones in life. You have some good things happen to you, and you want to share that. I get that. But don't be a braggart and a show-off to the extent that it starts to rub people the wrong way. They're going to tune out on you. They ain't really going to stop believing you. They're going to think it's fake. So you got to use some moderation in this showing off. Okay? There's a difference between celebrating your accomplishments and showing off and being a braggart. Being late is not cute. Leave that in 2022. Okay? Not cute. Stop all this fighting, folks. Now, I know this is nobody in my audience, but if you watch this show, we do a section called War in the Workplace. All this fighting in public, stop it. That is a non-starter. I mean, I can't believe some of the things I see, but particularly in some of these restaurants. People are fighting, throwing food on each other. Restaurant owners pouring hot water on people. Stop it. Leave that in 2023. In 2022, there's no room for that in 2022. Stop putting all your personal business online, particularly if you're doing something nefarious. So you gotta moderate the things you put out there, because some of this stuff will come back to haunt you. Straight out of the mouth, baby New Year. Okay? Let's see what else we got here. Don't believe everything you see on Facebook. Some of you guys just live like Facebook is the Bible, like they're God. They're not. Okay? They're human beings, and they're very imperfect human beings. Their technology is not perfect. The information is not perfect. It's a big platform, and it's very hard to manage. So pick and choose the things that you believe. Do your research. Okay? And also, here's my last one before we go to break. Stop using the Bible. Stop cherry picking the Bible to try to co-sign on some things that you're doing that are obviously wrong. Okay? Some people are these cafeteria Christians where they just only pull out the Bible to try to prove their point, but never to introspect to better themselves. Don't be one of those people. You want to leave that in 2022. All right, folks. That's what we're going to. That's straight from the mouth of baby New Year on some things that we can leave in 2022 as we get ready to go into 2023. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to come back. We're going to talk about a few current items in the news, and we're going to talk about Gatewood's top 10 marketing picks for 2023. Okay, because every year I come up with my top 10 things. This is information that I've honed over the years, and we try to get it right. So when we get into 2023, we're going to be ready to go. All right, folks, so hang on a second. This is the Marketing Pulpit. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host. We'll be back in a moment, so don't go anywhere.
Found out a lot of things about social media. It can help you, and it also can harm you. You have to know what you want out there and put it out safely.
But if your partner comes on really strong in the beginning, or professes love or marriage within a couple of weeks or months, or says something like they want to commit to you very early on, that's a red flag. As much as you would like to enjoy that feeling, because we're all looking for that in a person, you need to be very, very careful about that. Very, very careful.
What if they go to church with you?
Oh my gosh, I just posted something on IG about that.
All right.
Oh Lord, you want to get me started up in here.
It can't be bad if they went to church.
Come So now I just posted on IG that if somebody invokes the word God
Oh, girl, don't get us stuck up in here.
in an attempt to get in your heart or in your pants, you better be careful. If they're not walking it like they talk it or talking it like they walk it, then it is a huge red flag.
Like Jesus told you to come by my pad at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Just remember.
Jesus is not telling anybody to go by nobody's pad at 3 in the morning.
See, look at that.
That's not the Lord.
Look at that. Right.
That's that Remy Martin talking to you. That's not the Lord.
Not the Remy.
All right, we're back. This is the Marketing Pulpit Show. I'm Robert Gatewood, your host, and we are here every Friday at 10:30 a.m. bringing you the good marketing gospel. Go to marketingpulpit.com and follow us on Facebook. You'll see us on YouTube. We're on Instagram, and we're on Twitter. And you can get the information. You can actually see the show live. See my ugly mug sitting up there. So we got a great show going on. Thank you for everybody. This is the final show of 2022. We're getting ready for 2023, and we got a couple of quick news stories here that I want to get to, because that's one part of the show. We try to make sure that we have our popular segment, War in the Workplace, where we try to tell you some of the things that are going on out here in the news and some of the things that we probably shouldn't be doing. Now, this is one story. Anybody out here in the audience remember when you don't want to be ashy? You know, those parts of your body, your elbows and your knees, and your parents, when you were little, they put that grease on you, that Vaseline, that white rose. And well, anyway, this was an interesting story. I wonder if this particular perpetrator somehow, maybe the parents took it too far and he was scarred for life. But in Maryland, a perpetrator has been accused of rubbing lotion on random women. He just run up to folks and squirt lotion on them. I mean, that must have been some really ashy people. I'm telling you, I mean, the things that we see in our society nowadays, I think a lot of this stuff happened as a result of the pandemic. But why else would you run up to somebody, a random stranger, and put lotion on them? And it happened in several locations in Prince George's County, Maryland. Thought that was an interesting story as we wind up 2022. Now, another thing that's going on is on a not so light tip is that these ride share drivers are really having a hard time. This particular Lyft driver was shot 7 times and kidnapped. And so I've been telling people that are taking these occupations that you really have to take care of yourself. One of the things we're going to talk about going into 2023 is be concerned about our safety, online and offline, and particularly on these jobs. Sometimes I feel like these jobs haven't been tried and tested adequately, and some people are actually being put at unnecessary risk. And so I'm just saying, be safe out there going into 2023. Now, we talk about on this show how people have done things that were uncouth, unkind, unprecedented, in sometimes not so positive ways. But recently we had this big storm up in Buffalo. I thought this story was worth mentioning. This couple, and there's a sad part of this story, and there's a good side. This couple got this couple got caught out in the storm, a man and a woman. And the woman, they were trying to find shelter. They were knocking on doors, and one family brought them in. And the woman passed away, and the family held the woman's body in their living room until they were able to take them outside for the ambulance to come take them away. Folks, now that's, to me, that's an extreme nice. When you're thinking about some of the petty things you're going through, and sometimes how you're wondering whether you should be that good Samaritan or not. Let's use this as an example of going into 2023. I'm not saying take dead people's bodies and put them in your living room, but I'm saying we need to shake off some of this animus and animosity and cold-heartedness that came about as a result of COVID-19. So let's go forward in 2023 with that spirit of looking out for our fellow people. All right, let's move forward here. We're going to talk about Gatewood's top picks, marketing picks for 2023. And also, when we finish up the show today on the Radio 1, and thank you again to Ms. Kathy Hughes for allowing us to broadcast our show on your platform. Ms. Kathy Hughes, of course, they have a whole department over at the Howard University named in her honor. So thank you for WOL with tuning. We're broadcasting live in Washington, D.C. at 95.9 FM on Radio 1, WOL 1450 AM and 95.9 FM. Thank you again. And to anybody who's listening online, if somehow you're not able to get onto your Twitter account or your Facebook account or YouTube, go to WOL app. WOL has an app. Go to your app store and download the app, and you can listen to the show on while you're in the shower or anywhere you have a internet connection. So anyway, thank you again. And also don't forget to check us out at marketingpulpit.com and go to YouTube and follow the show. Let's quickly talk about Gatewood's top 10 marketing strategies for 2023. Now, I'm going to go through this rather quickly, but I will post these. You can actually go back and listen as well. Some of these things I've talked about on the show throughout the year. But the first one is branding. Continue to build your brand. People will do business with you based on your brand. Don't be that no-name brand. Continue when you're advertising and trying to get that direct action advertising, to get people to click on your banners, to buy your products and so forth. Invest some money in branding. That's through nurturing. That's by sending out those newsletters. That's by doing those social media posts. That's by getting that logo. That's by putting your brand and name on things where every time somebody turn around, they're seeing your name. Invest in branding in 2023. That never gets old. Number two, I want you to focus on, look at this digital marketing. Okay, that's not going away. Social media, I want you to keep in perspective. Social media is a means to an end. It's not an end in itself. In other words, don't get on social media just because somebody told you to get on social media. Have a goal in mind. Also, video. Video is going to be very important in 2023, but not long video, short video. If you go to YouTube, for instance, you have those great videos up there. Use that clips feature. Clip out 60 seconds and share that on your Facebook page. Share it on your Twitter page. Share it in your story. So you can use this technologies out here. So digital marketing, video, social is going to be around in 2023. Take advantage of it. As I stated earlier, safety and security is going to be big. They're coming for you. They're coming for you. So make safety and security a pivotal part of your plan and spending in 2023. I want you to go into 2023 leaner and meaner. Don't necessarily mean in a mean way, but leaner. Try to get more out of the resources and the money you've already spent. Don't keep piling on with new flashy gadgets and shiny objects and not getting the output. Go into it leaner and meaner. And tying into this is let's go back to some of the basics. Okay? There's a shiny object comes along every 5 minutes. Go back to the fundamentals of marketing. Make sure you have those down before you go out here spending all your money on the latest gadget, and they will be coming for you. Just know that. Now, this is one of Robert Gatewood's signature items, and that is relationships. They are your most valuable assets. Understand that relationships include your stakeholders. Custom acquisition is not the only thing you should be concerned about going into 2023. It's about your clients. It's about your funders. It's about your joint venturers. It's about your relationship with your suppliers because of supply chain issues. All of those things are part of your relationship building. Reach out to people. Invest in your I call them your crop, the people you plant in your garden. Invest in growing those relationships. That's another one. Here's one. Being authentic is never goes out of style, but it's becoming more and more important as we go into 2023. Stop being like trying to be like somebody else. Don't be fake. Be real, because people can see through it. Invest in what made you you and what makes you different. Keep adding to that and accentuate it. Okay. Number one, another one. Don't reinvent the wheel. Take advantage of the technology that's out here. You can go out here and try to do all this new stuff yourself, but what you're going to find out is that some of this technology already exists, and you're going to waste your time and money trying to invest in things that already exist. Improve your delivery systems. Location, downloads, home delivery, and different types of delivery systems. Make sure you invest in those to get your products and services in as many hands as possible. Build your ecosystem. Your ecosystem is, don't just build a product. Make sure your interconnectivity between the products and services that you offer, that you can get that lower the threshold to get people into the door, offer some type of lead magnet to lure them, and then cross-sell, upsell, and get those referrals. You must do that in 2023. Exceed expectations with your sales, with all the aspects of service. Make sure you go above and beyond. And last but not least, let's help somebody grow. Okay, like a baby, you got to help them take that first step. Somebody did that for you. Okay, of course there's some risk involved, but it's like, take baby steps. Get to know that person gradually. You don't give your keys to the car of a baby just because they can reach the wheel. What you want to do is help them grow, because like I said, somebody did that for you, so I want you to do that for somebody else. So folks, we're going into 2022. Let's look at this like an airplane. I remember that poem by William Ernest Henley. He said, I am the master of my faith and the captain of my soul. Let's go into 2023 and make sure we get it right. And we're going to finish. We're going to complete the show. We're going to play some of the excerpts from 2022 as we close out the show. Thank you again. If you want to be successful, you got to do these three things. Do the right thing, do it at the right time, and you got to do it right. Enough talk. Let's get to work.
So basically you're saying get better, because it just to be very, very simple for those of us, you know, that's out here that's in business, in small businesses and stuff. So what I'm hearing is you're saying you don't necessarily have to keep lowering your pricing. You have to get better in what it is that you have to offer and get it out there exposed to the world, so you can better position yourself into getting your product, of course, because I need simple stuff. So that's what I heard. I just wanted
That's exactly. That's exactly, because let me tell you something, Candace, because I've been in this price war business before, and I realized that when I raised my price, I reached a different market who was interested in quality over price. That means I can raise my price again and not lose a single customer. I might pick up more customers because I got out of this price war that I could never win.
Right. But in order
Robert, I can tell you a story about that.
Please.
Years ago, when I first got into music, I was in a band then. It was before 98.6, and I was in high school at the time. And there was a Sunday school group that I used to participate in. Well, there was another guy in the group who was in a different band. Right. So the Sunday school group was going to do a dance, and they were looking to hire a band to do the dance. And they knew that the two of us had bands. And they said, well, what can you offer? Well, the other guy said, well, my band can do this gig for $150. Now, this was back in the like late 60s, early 70s.
Right.
I can do a band for $150. And I said, well, let's see. My band has 7 members. If we got $15 a piece, that's $105. We can do it for $105. Do you know that they decided they would go with the other guy because they said, well, your band charges more, so you must be a better band. So we'll go with you.
Boy. Mariah, now you say that you work with LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Just tell us now. You said, you made a statement that being LinkedIn matters.
Mhm.
Let's just jump right to it. What does that mean?
Right. So being in terms of being LinkedIn matters, it helps to have a personal brand, number one, and then it helps to also be on LinkedIn because LinkedIn is sort of a virtual Rolodex, if you will. It's about 500 million professionals across various industries, roles, different seniority levels, people in all different types of industries that you wouldn't even imagine. So being LinkedIn, having a good optimized presence on LinkedIn definitely matters, whether you're on there for sales prospecting or you're job searching or you want to establish yourself as a thought leader or an opinion leader. It helps to be on LinkedIn because anything that you post is highly indexed in Google and everyone's on Google.
And what is it about these fast foods shops and drive-through windows? And here some twins got involved. I guess W pleasure, W fun. You got the chicken and we had the gun. A set of twins, both 20 from Milwaukee, were charged with attempted first-degree homicide with a dangerous weapon. The twins began arguing with 2 employees because they were not getting their food quick enough. Well, you've heard good cop, bad cop. What about good twin, bad twin? Seems like one twin would say, look, I know the food is a little slow today, but remember, restaurants are a little short on help. They've got supply chain issues. We're going to get the food eventually. But it sounds like the other twin was over there loading the gun for the other one to use to shoot. I'm not afraid of airplanes. I just don't do a lot of it. Last couple of years ago, I was working with the Small Business Administration. It was the only time I flew. But when I did fly, I was like one of these folks that look, well, get me a nice seat, get me something to read. I mean, how bad can it be? All of a sudden, you got comfortable. Then the captain comes on the intercom. You're assuming he's going to be welcoming us all. Well, flying at cruising altitude and over to the left, you see the Andes Mountains. But instead, he comes on and says, will all strong-bodied males come to the front of the plane and help me fight this guy who's trying to take over the plane? Is this one of those Steve Harvey pranks? You waiting on cousin Tommy? What's his name? This is exactly what happened. If they're not dousing you with hot oil, there's a good chance they're going to spit in your food. I mean, that's what I would suggest. It might even cost you a couple of pennies, but it's worth. Leave. Just leave. Go somewhere else. I know it's getting long. The lines are longer now because of some of these same supply chain issues and some of the problems people having getting good workers. But it's not worth it. Go home, eat you a bowl of cereal. I mean, make you a peanut butter sandwich like we used to do when we were kids. Make you a mayonnaise sandwich with some ketchup on it. I'd rather do that than get doused with hot oil. Just leave. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. Now, that's not capitulating. That's not being weak. That's not being a wuss. These are different times, I'm telling you. Bishop in the pulpit up in New York. 3 gunmen came in. They demanded property from the 44-year-old bishop and his wife. From what I understand, they made off with about $1 million in jewelry. Wait a minute. I think it said $1 million. $1 million. That's 1,000, right? Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait a minute. Did I see that right? If you have a service that people can't afford, then you have to find a way to get that service to people, to the ones who can't afford it, if it's something that they really need. That's why law firms have pro bono services and things like that. That's why medical clinics have the free clinic. Because some things you can't just say because you can't afford it, you're not going to get it. I feel that marketing advice falls in that category as well, particularly if you're a business owner.